Well, this past week, I had a call this week from a woman who described herself as a concerned listener. So I asked her to come in this week, and she come on in. Come on in. It's Ida, and I know there's some things that she thinks we could be improving here on the program, and we're happy to have her here with us. So here is that caller. Your name is?
Ida Clare.
Ida Clare. That's clever. I get it. I get it. It's I declare. It's like I declare.
I don't get it.
People say I declare.
I've never heard that.
Okay. Okay. So here's a representative of a group of concerned listeners. Yes. I'm the president. You're the president of what are you the president of?
Yes, Bill. I'm the president of Concerned Residents Alarmed by Bill Yohnka.
Did you notice that spells crabby?
I hadn't.
You hadn't noticed that. Okay, and your group is concerned with what exactly?
I have a list here, Bill, and some of the things about your radio program that my group finds offensive.
That looks like a pretty long list. I'm glad we have such loyal listeners.
I have nothing else to do on Saturday mornings.
That comes up a lot in our listener surveys.
Well, I don't think that gives you free rein to be offensive.
Well, I don't believe that I'm ever knowingly offensive. I've had some bad ideas. I have actually...
Well, that's not a crime, though, is it?
No. I've actually had some bad ideas. I've self-censored. Now, what kind of things do you have on your list here?
First off, I find your joke school crude and crass. I think that's the last thing our youngsters need to learn.
Well, we always thought of it more as a public service. A sense of humor can serve a child well these days.
I don't see how.
You seem to have gotten by without one yourself. Am I wrong?
Perhaps you should be instructing them in how to pull their pants up and turn down that loud disco music they play in their cars.
I don't think those kids are in our 2 to 15-year-old joke school demographic. But I will take your suggestions under advisement. What's next on the list?
I find your series Cops with a K demeaning to small-town law enforcement. It doesn't seem to be based in reality at all, and it's the only program I've ever heard where the names are changed to protect the writers.
That's a little provision of their contract, something about a statute of limitations.
Well, I think the writers need to be changed to protect the listeners.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you like the job our writers are doing with our low-key theater program?
Is that show done by different writers? I assumed it was the same group of monkeys chained to typewriters somewhere.
Oh, goodness, that's harsh. Don't you feel that they capture the Midwestern mindset in those stories?
No.
Well, how Midwesterns are set in their ways?
No.
How they are people of few words on most topics?
No.
What's next on the list? I find
as the clod turns the meaning to women.
I thought we actually demeaned men a little more there, but what about the topic of unfulfilled love? I bet you know something about that.
I enjoy the parts of that story that have to do with vegetables. I've never been to your farmer's market, but I do hear they have shopping carts there.
Yes, they do. You are a steady listener. What's next on the list?
I think the whole concept of Wild Bill Yohnka, frontier announcer, is ludicrous.
And don't you like the parts where someone asks why they call me Wild Bill, and I say something like, I only eat organic food?
No. And I think Mr. Hemingway's attempt to make you a folk hero is a waste of time.
Again, quite harsh. Let me go through a few of our other features that we've introduced over the last year. I would like to give just 1 or 2 word response to each one. Okay? Let's start with our children's series, following up on fairy tales we all thought we knew. What happened next?
Stupid.
What about the old joke theater? We bring those old jokes to life.
Moronic.
What about my interviews? You must have enjoyed a couple of those.
Nope.
Live music segments. What about that?
Tolerable.
Okay, that's a little better. How about the other music I play?
A waste of good air time.
Now, don't get wordy on me. What about my reality concept, David Byrne in Kankakee?
Complete waste of time, except for the organic peanut butter. That sounds good.
Okay. Isn't do you know who David Byrne is?
Isn't he a reporter?
No, that isn't. No. What about Uncle Paul? Most people seem to like him. Maybe not most, half. Some people like him. Do you enjoy what he does on the program?
Now that I've been in your studio here, I think I can tell all the other listeners that Uncle Paul is just a character you do, like Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
I think that reference may be lost on most of our audience, but I can assure you that Uncle Paul is Kankakee's Uncle Paul, and he is a real person.
Okay, where is he?
Well, he's not here this week.
Isn't that a coincidence? The one time I come to the studio, he's not here.
Well, he's usually here. This week he's on vacation with his siblings in Branson, Missouri.
Now you've made up siblings for him. And Branson? Why not tell him he's in Las Vegas? That's just about as plausible.
Actually, it would be, but in spite of what you may think, he is a real person. He's a card-carrying member of the Radio Sidekicks Union, and my question to you is, do you enjoy his work on the show?
No.
Oh, goodness. Is there anything about the Bill Yohnka Show that you do like?
Carl Maronich.
What?
Carl Maronich. The girls down at the home call him Carl McDreamy. Well, like everything he does, whether it's playing a role in one of your so-called dramas or just talking ad-lib, he's the greatest. Sometimes after the show, we sit and recap all the cute stuff Carl said. If he's not on the show, well, some of the girls actually cry.
So the only constructive criticism I'm hearing is more Carl Maronich. Is there anything else I could do to make the program more appealing to you?
I would like to review all content 2 days in advance of the show.
That's not going to happen.
Okay, how about I drop all planned protests and public criticism if you give me a half dozen autographed photos of Carl Maronich.
Deal. I'll send these right out, and as soon as Carl gets them signed, another satisfied customer of the Bill Yohnka radio show, and I declare thank you for your interest in the program.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm blushing, I think.
Carl's the stand-up.
No, I want to. Don't leave yet. I want to talk to you before you head out.
Well, Carl, we may see you at Mixed Martial Arts later on tonight.
Yeah, if I can steal away from the big auxiliary event, I might go check out a round or two.
They don't use their elbows. There are rules.
No, you can use your elbow, actually.
Actually, you can use your elbow. Okay, I missed.
Not on the top of the head.
Not on the top.
Not on the top of the head. Right.